Buckle up. The virtual Honky Tonk is back on 820 CHAM. Once again, here's Wray Ellis.
Roy Parnell is with us. Before we took a break, I said we were going to talk about the changes in your life. I know that for years you've been searching for just the right ranch on just the right hillside in Texas. Well, you finally found it, and now you have a place that you've always wanted. With those pieces of the puzzle in place, has life gotten any easier for you?
Well, I can't really say that that's happening, because I still feel like I'm skating on thin ice. I never made that big dollar that everybody, that some of these guys did, who really hit it big, So I'm still a working musician. So that means I got a lot of long way to go to pay off that ranch. And so in that regard, yes, I'm glad that I found that place finally, and it is the right place. But now I got to go pay for it. So in that way, I'm kind of scared, that way, because you know how fickle this music business is, and whether or not they're going to want you around in another year or two or whatever it's going to be, however long they're going to let you live. One thing about it, I'll keep doing something. I'm going to keep writing, and I'm going to keep making records, even if I do it on my own on that hillside in Texas. That's where I'll be.
Just as long as you're still playing music, eh?
That's right, buddy.
What a segue. Here's Roy Parnell with Heart's Desire on the virtual Honky Tonk. The virtual Honky Tonk with our guest Roy Parnell. That was I'm Holding My Own. Before that, we heard Heart's Desire. When we come back, I'm going to ask Roy what's it like to be an overnight sensation 20 years in the making.
I never intended for it to take this long.
The virtual Honky Tonk on 820 CHAM will return right after this message.
Sound like a...
You're listening to the virtual Honky Tonk on 820 CHAM. Once again, here's Wray Ellis.
Roy Parnell is with us. Mr. Parnell.
Yes, sir.
Your first album came out around the same time as Alan Jackson's did. And when I talked to Ramona Simmons, the artist development person for Heiress to Nashville, she thought Alan would do well, but she predicted that you were going to be huge. Are you a little disappointed, or how do you feel about that?
Here's the deal. I'd have been playing anyway, and whether or not I'd ever... If I had done something like Alan did, and went out and made a big splash the way he did, and made the money that he did, what the difference in my life would have been was that I'd probably had my house paid off, and all my guys' houses would be paid off, and I'd have spread that money around. Now I probably wouldn't have any more money than I have right now, because I've tried to make this thing a democratic thing all the way around for all the guys and myself, and not everybody does that. I may even give those guys percentage on the record, and that doesn't happen very often. And I do that because I love the camaraderie that, you can't expect something from somebody unless you give it to them first, right?
Respect and loyalty.
Yeah, respect and loyalty. I love that. I love having it, and I like giving it. And so in that way, things probably wouldn't be that much different, except it sure would make me feel a whole lot better if I knew all those guys were taken care of, and their families were taken care of from here on out, including mine, in that regard. But we'd still be out there playing, we'd still be out there playing, and we'd be doing the same thing that we're doing right now.
Okay, if you're all tuned up, let's have another song. Here's Roy Parnell with When a Woman Loves a Man on the virtual Honky Tonk. Roy Parnell with When a Woman Loves a Man on the virtual Honky Tonk. Roy, we've talked before, and you said you used to be a bit wild in your younger days. I guess we all were. Now that you're a father, how has that changed your life?
It's the most important job that I've been given on this earth, and it's the one that I probably struggle with more than anything. It's the battle that constantly goes on in my heart and my head, about providing for my children and being with my children. See, I can't do both at the same time. So I have to find a balance, And I think part of the reason that this place in Texas that I've been, the kids and I have been, that has been kind of our little dream that we talked about all the time. While, when I'd always end up leaving, where I'd be going, I'd be leaving again. All the time I was saying goodbye, and our dream was that we would have a place, because I lost my folks about 5 or 6 years ago. And when you lose both your parents, there's no center of the family anywhere. And I'm the eldest of all the children. So I felt this responsibility to create some place that we would have a home, a center that we can all come together and be a family. Not only just me and my kids, but my sister and her children, my brother, all of us, and I'm the oldest, and I've always felt that responsibility. So in so much as that, I've missed, I feel, so much in my kids' upbringing, I've been there for the highlights in a lot of ways, because I've always tried to be there, for the big things that happened in their lives, the big horse shows or the games that were important, and try not to, it wasn't just like I saw them during the summer and at Christmas, It was like I make effort, even if I have a day off, to fly to where they are to see what they're doing. It's been like I say, it's been a struggle. It's been the most important job in my life, and it's been the hardest job in my life. But the advent of having this ranch, this little ranch, this little 80-acre place with this old stone house on it that we got lots of work to do to it, I think that's going to be the answer to our future as a family, because it's going to give us a place that we can all call home.
Roy Parnell has been our guest. Roy, good luck with the new place. It must be nice to finally have some place to put all that rustic Western furniture you've been collecting over the years.
I can put all, and I'll be rustic myself the time I get in it, let me tell you.
Thanks, Leroy. When we come back, we've got a big surprise for you. Don't you dare miss it.
Hi, this is Tim McGraw, and you're listening to the Virtual Honky Tonk.
The Virtual Honky Tonk at 820 CHAM will return right after this message.